Hi everyone, this is Ricky with Romero Cards. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to be playing with some Colorado Craft Company stamps, and we're going to make a big card today. I've never done this before, it's my first time. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut this cardstock out to, I believe, 5.5 by 5.5, because we're making a 6 by 6 card, I think. I really should have measured it before I started this video, but yeah, we go ahead and get that cut out. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some ink blending, and the colors we're going to use is tea dye, brushed corduroy, and vintage photo from Tim Holtz. These are oxide inks. You could use distressed inks. You can use any inks that you want to use. So I'm going super fast here because ink blending is boring, I think. I don't think a lot of people want to watch it. But basically I'm putting the tea dye on the bottom and the top. Then I'm doing the brushed corduroy on the next level at the bottom and the top. And then in the middle, I'll be doing vintage photo. And then here we go. You're going to see me do the next color here. And actually, I didn't go through the whole thing. I didn't show you the whole thing because I actually had to go through several times to get this ink blending done. Probably like 5 minutes just doing ink blending, and no one wants to see that, right? So here I am going in with the vintage photo to be the darkest part of the ink blending. And it takes a little bit to soak in, so that's why I had to do it several times. And if you see here, each layer is pretty light, so I went through and redid them. I do not show you in this video because it just took way too long. Obviously I lied because I'm showing you I'm going back into the vintage photo, so that's fine. The best part is lifting up the stencil and seeing the amazingness that it is. This is from Colorado Craft Company. This is Hipster Deer, I believe it's what it's called. And I'm making a big card because this is like one of their big and bold stamp sets, and it takes up a lot of room on a card. Probably could have done a 4.25 by 5.5, and I would have had to cut off some of the antlers, but you know, I wanted the full thing. I want it to look awesome. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and ink this up. We're going to do some paper piecing here. And basically what you do is you just cut out the pieces you want and then you stick it together to make the moose, or the deer. I'm sorry, it's a deer. I think it's a deer. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get this fussy cut out. I'm basically cutting out the jacket. And then you'll see here I just turn the paper over, and I'm going to use the orange side with the pumpkins for the shirt part. And basically I'm just going to stamp that out, stamp it on the orange paper, and I'm going to do the exact same thing as I did for the sweater or the jacket that I did. I just stamp this out, and then I'm going to go ahead and get that fussy cut out. And I believe I'll show you a little bit of it, just, you know, tease you, because fussy cutting's so fun. Not really, but, so yeah, I just take, basically I'm just taking out the shirt and the tie, from this. And obviously I didn't speed this up any. It's pretty much going at the same speed that I did it at. That's how long it takes to fussy cut stuff. I took a white gel pen and just added little details on the buttons. I did fill in the tie clip, and then also filled in the buttons on the shirt. You can't tell from this video, but it does give an added touch, and it's pretty awesome. This is the paper that I used from Echo Park, so I just wanted to make sure you saw that. The next thing we're going to do is stamp out the deer, and we're going to get him cut out here. I'm going to use some, it really doesn't matter what ink you use here because I'm not doing any Copic coloring, I'm not doing any watercoloring, it's just going to be him black and white, and that's it. And then what I actually do is after I get this pressed in, obviously I had to press it a lot. Had to get the best impression ever, so it took like 40 minutes. But I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to fussy cut this guy out, and whoa, did it take forever. Probably like 7 minutes. I'm going to take a black marker here, and I'm going to go out the outline of the deer because I want it to be a solid line. And to get this guy together, I'm just taking a random piece of paper that was left over. I'm going to glue the head on, and then I'm going to glue the shirt, and then I'll glue on the vest. And then once I get all this glued on, basically what you do is you just kind of cut this out. I'm doing the black marker along the sweater because apparently I forgot to do that, or the jacket. And I'm going to go ahead and get that paper glued on and my big old fat head there. Basically what you do is then cut out this piece of white paper, and then you're done with that. He's all glued together. He's a solid piece. He's great. Next thing I'm going to do is cut out the frame of the deer. And unfortunately, I did not get that on here, but it looks like it was 6x6. And I'm just comparing it, make sure it fits, and I'm going to go ahead and get this glued in. You guys need this glue. I'm just saying, it's art glitter glue. That tip is amazing. The glue is awesome. You can do really fine tip stuff. I am so happy the tip doesn't get clogged. The needle doesn't rust inside your glue. It's amazing. You guys should check it out. Going ahead and glued that down onto the brown cardstock. And now what we're going to do is going to be cutting out the I think it's 6 1/4 by 6 1/4 card base. And basically, you know, you can't do that from one piece of paper. You're going to have to make this out of 2 pieces of paper. And basically what you do is you make one at the measurement that you want. So let's just say it's 6 1/4. And then the other one you would make about 6 1/2. And what you would do, here in a second you're going to see this. First, I'm making sure that that it's fit over, and what I'm doing is making a line here. So that's where I know where I need to fold the paper, because basically what we're going to do is once I get this folded with the bone folder, it's going to be folded over onto the other cardstock, and it's going to make one big card base. So here I have my score buddy here. I'm going to go ahead and get this scored here. And then I'm going to fold this over with a bone folder. It was a little hard because it was a little narrow. I probably could have made it a little longer. It would have been fine. Nothing would have been wrong with that. But as you can see, it has that ledge and it fits the other piece under it. And what I'm going to do is take some double-sided adhesive here and put it along the side. And then once I take off the backing paper of this, I'm going to set the other piece of paper down on here and then get that folded over once I get it lined up. You have to be very careful of this or you will mess it up. It took me a good bit here to get this lined up because I wanted to make sure it was perfect. And then I'm just going to fold that over. And once I get this over, you can see it's a big card base. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get this this panel glued onto the card base, again with this amazing glue, just so awesome. I do have to tell you, if you get it, you need to get it in the summer because they do not ship it in the winter time, because if it freezes, it does not work right. All right, I'm going to go get this glued onto here, and it's going to have like a white frame around it, a small brown frame, and then we have the stripes. Oh my God, it looks so good. I love it. Next thing we're going to do is some heat embossing, and I'm just going to use some Brutus Monroe embossing powder here, and I'm going to use some Versamark ink, which is just a sticky ink to get the powder to stick to. And of course I used my powder tool before to get all the static off the paper. My big old fat head is in here. You can't see that I actually do have it pretty straight. I'm pretty proud of myself. I could have used the Misty on this, but I'm brave. I'm a big boy. I decided to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and get the powder on there, and then I'm going to get my heat gun, and phew, look, it's almost done. The power of editing. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get this cut down to a thin strip because I don't want it to be too big. And I'm just going to be really careful here and make sure that I do not cut off too much and that it's just perfect. I could have used a die for that, but I didn't have time. I didn't want to pull it out. It was just easier to do that. Next thing we're going to do is some 3M foam tape on the back of the deer, and we're going to go ahead and get him propped up onto the card. Once he gets on the card, I was kind of wowed. I was like, whoa, that's like a handsome fellow right there. He's like so cool. But anyway, as I'm here getting all the backing paper off because I had to put a billion pieces of 3M foam tape on here, I'm going to go get ahead and get him lined in, and then my big old fat head comes in because I think that helps me actually put things on straight. I don't know. I really think it does. Now we're going to find out where the sentiment is. We're going to put it up in his antlers, and it's going to be a birthday card. So I'm going to put some 3M foam tape on the back of that, and then we're going to place it up in the antlers. Took me a few minutes to get this right because I didn't want the antlers to be covered. I didn't want the words to be covered by the antlers. And so we finally get it on there, and we're going to go ahead and press it on. Maybe. Yeah. It's pressed. There we go. We made it. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you were trying to stay happy and healthy during this crazy time that we're in. I know it's hard, but I hope this video has helped you. And please comment down and let me know what you thought about the video. I want to thank you. Make sure you follow me on all the social medias, and I will talk to you later. Have a great week. Bye.